really nice meeting you all. Allow me to introduce myself. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Margareth Meutia. I just would like to say, first of all, that I'm grateful and honored to have the opportunity to be able to speak here in front of all of you. I'm excited about today, about sharing my stories, my experience to all the students here, about my profession and how I got into working into conservation and doing things that might be uncommon for a lot of people. So I would just like to share with you all, and maybe some of you or all of you can take away something that is useful afterwards. So this is my name, Margareth Meutia, but just please call me Maggie. That's how I'm called every day by everyone. And this is the title of my presentation, Living for a Cause. And why do I choose this title? Is because recently I've discovered that this is my passion. This is what I think I'm meant to do in this life, is, you know, to work for a cause. But can anybody here elaborate on the meaning of working for a cause? Is anyone can share their opinions? What do you think if I said, yeah, please?
I think it's how you strive or struggle for something that you care about.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, I get a lot of questions, not just questions, but sometimes very critical comments about why do I choose to focus on this stuff? Why do I focus so much on working for a cause? Why not just working for profit? Why not just working for or studying for a degree or things like that? And most of the times there are also some negative comments. So sometimes people think that what I'm doing is useless. I'm being too idealist. And maybe some of you are like me or facing the same thing. And this is a story of how I get into why do I choose this path? What do I get a fortune out of it? What drives me into it? So this is my story. So this is where I work. Anybody who doesn't know this logo or brand? Anybody doesn't know?
Everybody knows.
It's WWF, WWF-Indonesia. I've been working in WWF for 6 years, 9 months to date, and this is, yeah. If you talked about working for causes, it can be so many things. It can be a cause for the environment. It can be cause for historical places, cities that you love. It can be a cause for education, children, mothers, human rights, whatever. But I choose to work, I finally found the cause that I'm most passionate about is about environment. And the thing that drives me the most about it is because anybody can have different opinions, but to me, I think environment is actually the foundation of everything. Mm-hmm. Nature is the basis of our lives. Whatever we do, it connects to nature. We are born from nature. Everything we do, we use, we consume, we face, is everything connects to nature. And most of the issues that we are facing now is also, you know, you could pull a string and you can find connection to the nature. Everything connects to nature. And that is why that environment and education, and by education that means the people. So I think, in my personal opinion, environment and people are the two most essential things in this world today. If you want to make a difference, you have to treat the environment well, as well as yourself, ourselves, the people, well, in order to create a harmonized relationship where the environment is sustained and we also thrive and prosper as human beings. And that is my conviction. So I think that is one of the reasons why I'm still here 6 years on, and I'm glad to know that I'm working in a place where I found many people have the similar ideas with me. I have my colleagues working in WWF for 15, 20 years, 30 years even, and we all share the same thoughts. And also, and at the same time, we also get the same ridicule, we get the same mocks, we get the same, the same challenges that we face. People that saying we're idealists or conservationists, talking nonsense and everything. We face that every day. But they are like family. So I literally found a second home here in what I do. And how did I get in here? How did I get into environment and doing this cause is the next part of the stories, which I would like to share. Sorry. Okay. Hopefully this would relate to you somehow or give you ideas about what you want to do in the next phase of your life. This is a picture of my parents. My mom and dad. This is where this is in the 80s. The reason why I put their picture up here is because they play a huge part in my life, as I'm sure in like your parents in yours as well. But don't be mistaken, I actually I've had my rough times with my parents. I use in my rebellious times, I resent them most of the time, and this thing, they don't know anything. I know everything in this world. But one thing that I always remember what they always told me, and maybe I think this creates the foundation where for what I am today. My dad always said that my dad is a very simple guy. He didn't graduate from university. He's just street smart, not as much smart. But he always said to me, "You have to be somebody. I don't care what you do, but you have to be somebody. You have to create something." That is what he always said. You can't just go through life without nothing. You have to make your mark or make a path for either for myself or for anybody else. That's what he always said. And my mom, she always said that whatever you do, be the best. Be the best at what you can do and be the best version of yourself. And I think those two messages being brought up to me very early on, I think even since I was still in junior high or still in teenage, very much restless about the world and things like that. But I think in between the resentment or the fights that I have with them, that stuck within me. And that continuing my journey in my career, I kind of gravitate into things that I think, I would like to have something that I do be worth, not just for me, but for many people, but for everyone else. And that is when the next phase of my life comes into the picture. I don't know about you guys, whether you found it or not, but in life you'll come across into things that really is significant, which either turns you around or defines you. For me, it is when I went into university. This is where I went. Faculty of Social and Political Science in University of Indonesia. And I think this is the time, these are the moment where I was very much exposed to the world. Because before this, I was, I graduated from a private school, Catholic all-girls school, which is very homogenous. But getting into this university was something that is really new. It introduces me to the world, the diverse world, the causes. Like, I learned about politics, social issues, things that you won't regularly. I mean, if you're in this lifestyle bubble, or urban lifestyle bubbles, you kind of get caught, and you don't realize of the things that is happening after you. So I gained a lot of insight going to this school, and this is something special. If you ever heard of this is an NGO where I got my first volunteer work, and I remember I had a moment of epiphany in this when I was sitting in the room doing, I think it was database or something, and I just looked around, and this is an NGO that works to socialize democratic values to Indonesians, and they work most with politicians, people from the House of Representatives, something like that. And they were working for a cause. They were working to get into people's minds about democratic. What does it mean to be a democratic? And I had a moment epiphany at the time where when I said to myself, this is a place that I would like to be working for. Like, they're not there for profit. They are there to educate other people. And that's it. I think that's intuition talking. And what I would like to recommend to all of you guys is to trust your intuitions, to trust your gut, because most of the times we have that, but we could easily ignore it. But this is the defining moment for me, and I hope you've had some of yours, and if you haven't, I hope you'll find it soon. But these are the defining moments that determine where I am right now. And this is the next defining moment. Don't you think this is breathtaking? Anyone think this?
Yeah.
This is in Wakatobi. Anybody know Wakatobi? This is it's the hill in Tomia Island. Tomia is one of the islands in Wakatobi. This is where I had my first trip outside of Java, I think, to a remote place called Wakatobi. And I remember another moment of this. I call this moment a nature calling moment, where you feel really connect. And I thought to myself, I think this is where I belong. In the outdoors, with the skies and the grass and the greens and the blues and everything. This is what attracts me to the environment. I was having doubts whether I would work in UNICEF, working for mothers and children, working for the environment. Because of this, because the memory of going to Wakatobi and seeing all these places, and I remember thinking to myself at the time during the trip, I think this is where I should be. So that's another defining moment. And so one time, and this happens when I was working as a traveling lifestyle reporter. But I was invited by WWF, and that is another unique occurrence in my life. But yeah, eventually I get to know the people that I joined the trip with, and those are the people that I'm working with right now in WWF. Yeah, and another thing about being, figuring out who you are is having role models. I think having role models is very important. I spent my teenage years watching Oprah's talk shows, and just learning on there. It is very important. And now that where I'm at right now, I became aware of how important it is to have somebody that you could look up to. It doesn't have to be celebrities, it doesn't have to be public figures, it can be somebody very close to you, your parents. I have colleagues in my office which I always refer myself to, as they are my teachers, my mentors. That's another thing, that's mentors, teachers, lecturers. They're very important. They're very important. You could learn a lot from them. And I put their pictures up just as a symbol of role models, and I think they're very successful. And it's only recently that when you climb higher into your career, which where I'm at right now, you realize that it takes so much. It takes a village. It takes a lot of yourself to be in a position where you want to be. So if anybody of you here have a very big dream, so be prepared for big, serious challenges and obstacles as well, because they've all gone through with it, and so does maybe your parents. If they are a director in some place, you might not can imagine the road that they've gone through to get to where they are right now. So, and this is what I'm working on right now. As the Footprint Campaign Coordinator, I lead on the consumer campaign in WWF-Indonesia. I lead on WWF work on sustainable consumption. So this is the campaign we are running. It's called Beli Yang Baik. Maybe some of you have heard this because I've talked just I think a month ago. I was invited by Miss Karina to have a talk on this campaign. So I feel really blessed and lucky, and I think it's suffice for me to say that I'm doing what I love right now. I'm talking to people. I love speaking, like Prachanda says. I love talking to people. I love engaging people. I love inviting people to work on causes, and I get to introduce, a mission. Beli Yang Baik invites people to consume sustainably in order to ensure sustainability of production of commodities, palm oil, timber, seafood that have high impacts to our environment. So if you want to know more, there's the website beliyangbaik.org, or if you want to pledge your commitment, there's also a pledge on change.org, www.change.org/beliyangbaik, and we can also talk afterwards if you're interested. This is my last slide. I'll give you just a few seconds to understand the diagram. But the focus is on the red dot here, the purpose dot. And I found this diagram really enlightening. So I think this sums up my presentation, and this should sums up everyone's life. That we should all have a purpose in life. If you haven't realized, well, you have to from now on, that all of us are here for something, for a reason. I'm not in this room without a reason. I'm for a reason, and so does everyone and each of you here. And the purpose, I think this diagram summarizes very well. A purpose is something that you love doing and you're great at it. The world needs it. I think every one of us, humans shouldn't be living in this world like zombies, like just, you know, fussing other business around, but they should, and they have contribution. They should have contribution. They are made for a reason, and they must have a role in something. And the last best part is you get paid for it. Right? That's the best part. Doing what you love, which you are great at, and the world needs it, and you get paid for it. So that's the purpose. So I guess what I'm trying to, the message I'm trying to send across to this presentation is just to invite all of you guys to, you know, look for your purposes. I think I've already found my purpose. It's that I'm working for a cause, and that's an environment, and that's what I'm working right now. And just trying to make a difference. Imagine if 7 billion people in this world could make a difference. What would this world be like? It would be much, much, much better place. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you very much.
I started my journey to looking for what should I do for myself? What should I do for my work? And then I became one of the administration of the fabric factory.